Hello everyone, this is another video from Easy Electric, and today we want to see how we could remotely control the motor with the VFD with two external switch and able to turn the motor forward and backward. So as you see, I have these external remote switch here. Whenever I actually turn that on, the motor moving the forward, and I could also stop it as you see, and also the other switch for moving backwards. So as you see, whenever I turn this motor move backward, I could actually stop it. Same thing with the other switch. This is for moving forward, this is for backward. Now it's forward, it goes to reach the frequency that we want, and with the other one we able to remotely turn the motor actually backwards. So stay tuned. Okay, so before everything, let to check the datasheet and see how we could do remote control and two-wire control. So here I highlighted for you, so we need actually two switch, so which we use two toggle switch. So one for moving forward, the other one is reverse. So the one side of these both switch should be 22 volt to 24 volts that we get from the pin 11, and the other side of the switch, one connected to the port terminal 2 and the other one terminals 3. So we keep the jumper wire, so which is between 0 11. The jumper wire is already there, and we keep that very simple wiring we need here. So there is actually two things for programming. We need actually two commands. So let's see which one. So P36 is one that we should use to program for remote two wire. So P36 two wires. So technically, whenever you put two, you are telling you want to remote control two wire, and the default usually is 0, which you do that from the keypad that you have. We need to change that to the 2. So the other the command that we are going to use is P37. So whenever you use the toggle switch and you reverse or forward reverse that, so for a stop usually you see it's follow the ramp. So that means the frequency goes slowly down, follow the ramp pattern, then actually get to 0 frequency. So this frequency is not get the 0 immediately, is follow the ramp pattern. So here we want to actually change that with P37. So if you change that to 1, it should be actually the cost. So that means whenever you want to stop the motor, it's stop immediately, the frequency get to 0 and is not actually follow the ramp. So that means when your stop mode is the coast, that means immediately your frequency will be 0. So we will see that in the we test that with the VFD and also the three-phase motor. For now, let's just remember this P37 and what changing to 1, which is a stop mode. Technically, you are changing the stop mode from ramp to coast by writing 1 over there. Okay, first let's to take a look to the wiring. We have same setting that we did in our previous video. Already we put the default setting that introduced these three-phase motor to the VFD. So if you didn't watch our previous video, please watch that. So for remote control, as I explained on the datasheet, so we need actually two normally open switch. That's what you see here. So one side of this switch coming 24 volt from the port 11. So these 11 has the 24 volt comes to the both side of these normally 3 and 4 normally open. So here I have 24 volt, which is coming from the port 11. So the other side of this, so this one, number 3, connected to the port 2. Same wiring that we saw in the datasheet, and this one just connected to number 3. So two switch normally open, one side 24 volt, and the other side, one connected to the port 2, the other one port 3. This one move that forward, this one move actually there should be backward. So we finished the wiring. Let's start to see is it working or not working. So if you turn that to the from open to the close, see is not working because we already, if you remember from the previous video, we already give a comment that say we should control from the panel. We should somehow remove that. So back to here, if you go to the set, P30X is the name of the command that we have. So you say enter, it is 0 means control from the panel, key panel, but 2 means control with 2 wire as we have on the data sheet. Let's do change that to the 2, say enter. So now let's do back to everything back and see the frequency that we have. Let's do now try. So let's do keep everything in one shot. Now this should be turned that forward. So I actually turn that on. As you see, the frequency go up and also it going to reverse. Yeah, this one you see the reverse is on, the other one will be the forward. So it's reached the frequency that we adjust is actually 32.4. So now I actually turn that, close it, so it's slowly go down. And finally we have the next one. This should be moved that forward, right? Forward, backward. So let's do start it. So as you see now it goes to forward, frequency goes up, and 32 is what we adjusted. Again, if you close it, it should be actually back to 0. So one thing that you need to consider, let's just say I turn this on, it is actually as on forward 32 frequency that we already adjust with the keypad. Now let's turn this one on. That means I want to see what's happened whenever both of these is on. So whenever I turn the second one, so technically VFD stop the motor and do nothing, which is telling us you couldn't actually turn on the both in the same time, right? So you should actually close all of them, and each time just one of them could be actually on. Okay, so as you see here, whenever I run the motor in forward or backward remotely, and whenever I stop it, so if you notice, start and stop is in the ramp shape. That means slowly the speed goes up, and slowly whenever you stop it, slowly goes down. So see, even the frequency actually do that. The frequency goes up, so the motor goes up slowly following a ramp. And whenever I turn that, let's just say turn that off, same thing for stop. In this stop also it goes down following the ramp shape. So there is actually a comment if you want to stop that immediately, not follow the ramp. This is just for a stop, not for a start. Start still is a ramp. So there is actually a command we could use. So that to do, we'll go to here and choose the P30, not A, let's do say P, and say P37. So in P37, the default is 0. Whenever it is 0, it's actually ramp. So this is actually is stop mode, just P37. So that means your stop, whenever you stop it, it's follow the ramp shape. If you want to immediately stop it, you should give 1, which is, it says actually the cost. So let's do that. Now it is 0. Let's change the stop mode to the 1 and say enter. And now let's see what's happened. Let's escape everything and let's see what to happen. So what we expect. So nothing should be changed on the start. So start still is ramp, but stop should be actually the immediate or cost. Let's see what's happened. So as you see, the start is still same. So it's actually go with the ramp shape and see how about stop. So let's actually stop it now. See, it is immediately stop and frequency goes immediately to the stop. If I keep the, let's do this, let's do started, as you see start goes slowly, ramp shape to 32 that we adjusted. See this stops here. Whenever I turn this switch off, is not follow ramp. The frequency is exactly is on 0, okay? So same thing for actually the forward. So now this is a forward switch. I turn that on, the frequency goes ramp shape up, and whenever you stop it, it's immediately back to 0 and not follow the ramp that we have.